Larry Bird, the Hick from French Lick, a 3-time NBA champion and 3-time MVP, didn't hand out respect easily. So, when Larry Legend names the 6 players he respected the most, you know these weren't just stars, they were warriors who truly earned it. Number 1. Dennis Johnson. When people talk about the great teammates of Larry Bird, many big names come up, but Bird made it clear that one player stood above the rest for him. That player was Dennis Johnson. Their bond started fast. In 1983, Johnson joined the Boston Celtics. Before that, there were questions about him. Some teams felt he was hard to manage, but in Boston, things were different. Bird and Johnson connected almost right away. They respected how each other played the game. Bird saw something in Johnson within the first few games of the preseason. He did not wait long to say it. Just a few games in, Bird told the media that Dennis Johnson was the best player he had ever played with. That was a big statement. Bird had played with many talented players. Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, and others were stars. Still, Bird chose Johnson. He even joked after saying it, teasing his teammates by saying he had not played with many good players. It was a playful shot, but the message was serious. He meant what he said about Johnson.
Well, Dennis is a key to our team. I knew last year once we picked up Dennis and seen how good he is, we knew that we was going to win a championship. We knew there's a lot of good teams out there, but with the way Dennis plays, we needed that. We need a guy come in and hit the shot like he does, play the good defense, and do the all-around game.
Why did Bird feel this way so quickly? The answer starts with trust. Bird explained that Johnson made him better. He said, "He gets the ball to me in my spots." That mattered a lot. Bird was a smart scorer. He knew where he liked the ball. Johnson understood that. He did not just pass the ball, he passed it at the right time and to the right place. Bird had played with Tiny Archibald before, and he said Tiny did that well, but he believed Johnson did it even better.
Dennis Johnson is definitely the best player I've ever played with in my life. Dennis makes me better. That's why I say that, because he gets the ball to me in my spots. Tiny Archibald used to do that, but Dennis does it better than anybody I've ever played with.
That connection made the Celtics stronger, but there was more. Bird also watched how Johnson played in big games. He noticed a clear sign. If Johnson was driving to the basket again and again, Bird knew it was serious. That meant Johnson was locked in. Bird said Johnson was a big game player. In the regular season, Johnson might shoot around 44%. In the playoffs, that number could rise to close to 60%. When the pressure increased, Johnson improved. That is something Bird respected deeply. One moment showed their bond clearly. In the 1987 Eastern Conference Finals, Bird stole the ball from Isaiah Thomas in the final seconds. Without looking much, he passed it to Johnson, cutting to the basket. Johnson finished the layup to win the game. Bird trusted that Johnson would be in the right place. That trust did not happen by chance. It came from years of playing together and thinking the same way. Bird later said something even stronger. He said, "Without Dennis Johnson, we'd be a mediocre team." That is not a small comment. The Celtics had stars. They had talent in every position. But Bird believed Johnson was the key. He called him the glue of the team. Johnson played strong defense. He guarded the best players on the other team. He made big shots. He kept the locker room calm when problems started. Johnson was not loud. He did not chase headlines, but inside the team, his value was clear. Bird respected players who worked hard, stayed focused, and stepped up when it mattered. Johnson did all of that. The Celtics reached the NBA Finals 4 times in a row after Johnson joined. They won 2 championships together in 1984 and 1986. Bird won 3 titles in total, and Johnson was part of 2 of them in Boston. Bird never forgot that impact. So, when Bird named the player he respected most, he did not look at fame or stats alone. He looked at trust, effort, and performance in big moments. And that is why his answer was always Dennis Johnson. Number 2. Magic Johnson. They were rivals, but Bird never hid his respect for Magic Johnson. Many fans thought they were complete opposites. One was loud and smiling, the other was quiet and serious, but behind that stoic stare was a deep respect for the only man who truly mirrored his greatness. Their story started in 1979 in the NCAA championship game. Magic's Michigan State played Bird's Indiana State. That game changed college basketball. It also started a rivalry that would move to the NBA. When both entered the league, Magic joined the Lakers and Bird joined the Celtics. The East Coast and West Coast now had new leaders. Years later, Magic said something strong. He said Bird was the only white player mentioned in black barbershops. In his words, that is where real basketball talk happens in the community. Magic explained that black fans respected Bird because of his game, not because of race. Bird earned that respect. That mattered to Magic, and Bird knew it. But here is what surprises many people. Bird himself pointed out how similar they were. He said, "We both like to pass the ball. We like to try to make other guys better. And then we were winners. There was no question about that." Bird did not deny their differences in style. Magic was flashy, Bird was simple. Still, Bird believed their mindset was the same. They both wanted to win. They both played to lift their teammates. Magic once said, "We're mirrors of each other." He meant that even if they looked different on the outside, inside they had the same drive. Both were leaders. Both hated losing. Both believed the game should be played the right way. Their rivalry reached the NBA Finals 3 times. In 1984, Bird's Celtics won. In 1985 and 1987, Magic's Lakers won. Each series was intense. They studied each other. They pushed each other. Magic later admitted he feared Bird. He said Bird was the only player he feared. That kind of fear comes from respect. Bird also respected how Magic handled pressure. As a rookie in 1980, Magic won a championship and played center in Game 6 of the Finals when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was injured. Bird watched that. He later admitted he was jealous when Magic won that early title. That honestly showed how much he cared about competing at the highest level. Then something changed off the court. In 1985, they filmed a Converse commercial in French Lick, Indiana, Bird's hometown. Bird invited Magic to his house for lunch. They rode four-wheelers. They drove around in Bird's truck. For the first time, Bird saw Magic as more than a rival. He saw him as a person. Magic met Bird's mother, who even told him he was her favorite player. That day built a friendship. Years later, in a rare face-to-face interview, Magic said, "Basketball gods shine down on us." He talked about how special it was that one ended up in Boston and the other in Los Angeles. Bird agreed that their rivalry helped the league grow. They did not plan it, it just happened. So, why did Bird respect Magic so much? It was not only about championships, it was about mindset. It was about making teammates better. It was about rising in big moments. It was about carrying the league during the 1980s when the NBA needed stars. Bird once said there was no question they were winners. That simple statement explains everything. Behind the smiles and serious faces, behind the Lakers and Celtics colors, they were built the same way. Number 3, Michael Jordan. Larry Bird competed against many great players during his career, but one name he always spoke about with deep respect was Michael Jordan. The first time Bird saw Jordan up close was in 1984. Bird had just won an NBA title and an MVP award. He played against a group of young college players preparing for the Olympics. Jordan was on that team. Bird later wrote about his first impression. He said, "Shoot, shoot, 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 shoot." That was how he described Jordan. Jordan wanted to score every time. At that moment, Bird saw talent. He saw that Jordan could jump, pass, and do many things, but he did not yet think Jordan would become the greatest ever. Still, something stood out. Bird said he knew Jordan was very talented from the first time he saw him. Then came their first NBA meetings in 1984. After Jordan's first game against Boston, Bird told a reporter, "That guy is going to be the best player of all time." Jordan was only 21 years old. He had scored 27 points in that game. It was not a record game, but Bird already knew. In 1985, Bird was asked who the best player in the league was. His answer was simple: Michael Jordan. He's the best. At that time, Bird himself was winning MVP awards. Still, he gave Jordan that respect. The moment that made the whole world listen came in 1986, in Game 2 of the first-round playoffs. Jordan scored 63 points against the Celtics. It was a playoff record. Boston still won the game, 135-131 in 2 overtimes. But after the game, Bird said they were playing God disguised as Michael Jordan. That line became famous. Jordan later said Bird's comment gave him credibility. Before that, some people still saw him as a young scorer. When Bird praised him, people started to see him as a future star. Jordan said he never feared Bird on the court, but off the court, he was intimidated by him because of who Bird was and what he had achieved. Bird's respect kept growing. He explained what made Jordan different. He said Jordan was literally on a different level. Bird compared him to other great players like Julius Erving. Bird said Irving mostly used one hand, but Jordan could go left or right. Once Jordan jumped, it was almost impossible to stop him. Bird also said Jordan had the whole package. He could run, jump, defend, block shots, and score. He was strong mentally and physically. Years later at an NBA event honoring the top 75 players, Bird said about Jordan, "He was better than all of us." That was not a small statement. Bird had competed against Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and many Hall of Famer players. Yet he placed Jordan above them. Bird believed a new era was coming when he first saw Jordan. He said that in 10 years there would be many players trying to play like him. He was right. Jordan won 6 championships, 5 MVP awards, and became the face of the league in the 1990s. Bird respected Jordan not only for talent, but for competitiveness. In the 1986 and 87 playoffs, Boston swept Chicago. Still, Bird saw how hard Jordan fought. Even when his team was weaker, Jordan never backed down. Number 4, Kevin McHale. Larry Bird respected many players, but Kevin McHale was one of the most important. They were teammates for years in Boston. They won 3 championships together. Their personalities were different, but Bird always respected McHale's game. That respect started very early, in a way Bird did not expect. McHale's first practice with the Celtics left a strong memory. He came in late. Bird did not like that. Bird was serious about work. He believed practice was business. When he saw the rookie walk in late, he got angry. Bird later said, "I thought, well, I'm going to kill this guy today. He came in late." He wanted to teach him a lesson. But something happened that changed Bird's mind. The first 2 or 3 times Bird attacked the basket, McHale blocked his shot. Bird was surprised. He did not expect that. He realized quickly that this rookie could really defend. Bird even said he had to give McHale more respect after those blocks. That moment was important. Bird saw that McHale was not just tall, he had skill and timing. As time went on, Bird saw even more. McHale was not only a strong defender, he became one of the best low-post scorers in the league. He had long arms, soft touch, and great footwork. At 6 foot 10 inches, he was hard to guard. In his best season, he averaged over 26 points per game. Bird trusted him to carry the scoring load at times. That says a lot because Bird himself was a 3-time MVP. But their relationship was not perfect. Bird was always serious before games. He focused early and expected the same from others. McHale was different. He liked to joke and laugh before tip-off. Bird did not understand that. He believed McHale could have won an MVP if he worked even harder. Bird said that many times. McHale did not like hearing that. According to reporter Bob Ryan, McHale's answer was that Larry needed to get a life outside basketball. Even with these differences, they respected each other. They were not enemies. They were not best friends either. They simply understood each other's value. Bird respected McHale's talent. McHale respected Bird's leadership. There was also a moment that showed their bond from another side. During one practice, Bird made a spin pass that shocked McHale. McHale said he was cutting to the basket and thought the ball was going out of bounds. But Bird had spun the ball so perfectly that it bounced back into McHale's hands. McHale said, "I pulled a hamstring because I thought the damn ball was going out of bounds." That pass showed Bird's vision. McHale later admitted he tried that spin pass once and never tried it again. Those small moments built their respect. Bird saw McHale block his shots and dominate inside. McHale saw Bird's toughness, vision, and leadership. During the mid-1980s, the Celtics were one of the best teams in the league. Bird, McHale, and Robert Parrish formed a powerful front court. Bird knew he could count on McHale in big games. McHale came off the bench early in his career and still gave strong production. Later, as a starter, he became even better. So, when Bird spoke about players he respected the most, McHale's name always belonged there. Not because they were close friends, but because McHale proved himself from day one. Number 5, Robert Parrish. Larry Bird and Robert Parrish were key parts of the Boston Celtics in the 1980s. They reached 4 straight NBA Finals and won 3 championships. On the court, they worked well together. Off the court, their relationship was more complex. Still, Bird respected Parrish's value to the team. Parrish came to Boston in 1980 after 4 seasons with the Golden State Warriors. In Golden State, he felt blamed for the team's struggles. He later said that being labeled as part of the problem was hard for him. When he joined the Celtics, he said the biggest change was that the team was winning. He felt that players like Bird and Kevin McHale helped complement his game. Bird saw Parrish's talent early. Parrish was 7 foot 1 inches, strong and steady. He protected the rim and scored inside. But there were moments of tension. Before the 1983-84 season, Parrish was unhappy with his $650,000 salary. He missed a preseason trip. Bird did not publicly support him. According to writer Bob Ryan, Bird even said, "We've got enough for the bench, so we can do without him." That comment showed frustration. It also showed Bird's focus on winning no matter what. Their disagreement became clear during a fight between Bird and Julius Erving in 1984. Parrish did not step in right away. Some believed he wanted Bird to feel what it was like to stand alone. Even with that tension, they stayed professional. They played together and kept winning. What kept their respect strong was toughness. Parrish once spoke about Bird's brutal back injury. Bird played through serious pain in his final years. Parrish said Bird took no shots, no pills, nothing. He simply willed himself to play. Parrish admired that. As someone who also dealt with back pain, he said he did not think he could have performed at that level with the same injury. Parrish also respected Bird's leadership style. He said Bird was not loud in the locker room. He led by example every night in practice and games. Bird encouraged teammates instead of putting them down. Parrish said he liked that about him. Bird's calm approach was different from other stars. At the same time, Parrish saw another side of Bird. On the court, Bird never stopped talking trash. Parrish told stories about how Bird would talk whether he was hot or cold. He backed up his words with play. Parrish was glad Bird did not aim that trash talk at teammates often. Against opponents, Bird was relentless. Their bond was built on shared goals. They were not best friends. They were not enemies either. They respected each other's roles. Parrish anchored the middle. Bird handled scoring and playmaking. Together with McHale, they formed one of the best front courts in NBA history. Number 6, Michael Cooper. Larry Bird faced many strong defenders in the 1980s, but when he was asked who guarded him the best, his answer was clear. He said the best defender he ever faced was Michael Cooper. This was rare praise from Bird. He did not give compliments easily, especially to rivals. Cooper played for the Los Angeles Lakers during the peak of the Celtics-Lakers rivalry. They met in 3 NBA Finals series. Every time Cooper was assigned to guard Bird, their matchups were physical and intense. But what made Bird respect Cooper so much? Well, first, Cooper always played him the right way. Cooper later explained, "I always played him right." He said he never tried to cross the line. He guarded Bird as physically as possible, but he did not take cheap shots. There were elbows on both sides, but it was fair. It was give and take. Bird respected that. That respect was built over many games. Bird averaged slightly lower numbers when Cooper guarded him compared to his career averages. According to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Cooper prepared carefully for Bird. Kareem said, "Coop would have his notebook out. When things got serious, Cooper studied Bird's moves. He focused on forcing Bird to use his left hand to pass but not shoot. That detail showed high basketball IQ. Bird noticed this preparation. He understood when someone studied his game deeply. Cooper did not just rely on talent. He worked on angles, timing, and discipline. Bird liked defenders who made him think. Cooper did that." Years later, a debate started on TV when J.J. Redick compared modern players and past eras. Some felt Bird was being disrespected in the discussion about defensive pressure. Cooper heard about it after returning from overseas. He spoke strongly in defense of Bird and the physical style of the 1980s. He said if Redick had played in that era, he would have locked him up. His comments were not just about himself, they were about protecting Bird's legacy and the toughness of that time. That response showed something important. Even after retirement, Cooper cared about how Bird was viewed. The respect went both ways. Cooper also admitted that Bird was the hardest player he ever guarded. He said when Jordan gave up the ball, you could relax for a moment. With Bird, you could not. Bird could rebound, pass, or score at any time. That constant threat made defending him difficult. Bird respected players who competed fully. Cooper defended sideline to sideline. He never took plays off. He forced Bird to work for every shot. Bird once said that trying to adjust to Cooper made him better. Kareem also said that Bird respected Cooper as much as he respected Magic Johnson. That is a big statement. Magic and Bird defined an era. For Cooper to earn similar respect as a defender shows how serious Bird was about him. When Bird retired, he repeated that Cooper was his toughest defender. That statement still stands. Which name surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more NBA stories just like this.